the iOS update that may crush your Facebook ads business. This is what you need to know, this is what's going to be happening, and ultimately, these are the precautionary measures that you can take. My name is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. I have this channel to help small businesses grow their business, build their digital presence, and ultimately make more sustainable income. So what does the iOS update actually mean? Well, I think there's still a lot to be unknown, but what I can tell you is what I do know, what I've seen online, what I'm reading, and ultimately the impacts that it's going to have on your business. Now, this update has been talked about for months now, and if you spend any bit of time on Facebook, you will see at the top of Facebook, your ads are going to be impacted. You need to, let Apple know essentially that, hey, we are not happy about this update. Well, why would that be? Because Facebook is about to take a absolutely major hit on the amount of revenue they're going to make on their apps and ultimately how much money business owners are going to pay. So if you don't know by now, Facebook is funded by businesses. Now granted, they have your data, and being able to sell that data to businesses who are willing to pay to advertise to people to get in front of you is tremendously important, right? That's ultimately how their entire business works. They built up this tremendous community of users. Those people are extremely happy with the platform, or mainly happy with the platform, and ultimately now they monetize that by taking that information and helping small businesses target the people that they're looking to go after. So for example, if you're in the upper 1% of income, or you're in a certain zip code, or if Facebook knows that you have kids, or whatever it is, you're a homeowner, you're married, you're single, whatever all of these things are, right? You're a business owner, you're involved in technology, you're involved in marketing, whatever it may be, right? Facebook has over 5,000 data points of everything that you will have. Also, if you don't know, Google also has this, and there's a way to go look that up. I will eventually make a video on that as well. But ultimately, Facebook is easily the best at getting people's data, right? It used to be LinkedIn for the longest time because people would update that regularly on what they're doing in their career and things like that. They've done a really good job at being able to pinpoint exactly who you are, what you're gonna buy, helping businesses connect with those people, and that's how they make their money, right? They charge on ads. So Apple's iOS 14 has rolled out in September 16th of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, and ultimately it really wasn't that much of a concern, and Apple started releasing beta versions and developer versions that basically were saying, hey, we are going to let the users know and give the power back to the users of what data they're actually giving out, right? This has never been done before by any software company. Typically, you get an update on your phone and you're just scrolling through to the bottom to hit, yep, I accept, and boom, you're back into your phone, right? Because nobody wants to read the legal paperwork because it would take forever, and a lot of it's written in legal jargon that, quite frankly, most of us don't know. So I want to talk about the good and the bad. So the good for the consumer is knowing where your data is actually going, and ultimately giving permission to those apps. A lot of the times people don't realize that they're giving permission to apps such as your games on your phone or potentially other apps, and a lot of them, or if not all of them, have integrations with Facebook, right? Facebook has a tracking software called Pixel, which is basically a series of numbers and letters that you can drop onto an app or anything like that. Basically, when those numbers and letters are hit by that user on that Facebook platform, Facebook goes, oh, okay, Harrison is using, I don't know, this app or that app, whatever it may be, right? And also, when you sign into a new app and there's an option for sign in with Facebook, trust me, Facebook knows who you are and all your information and goes, oh, okay, he has a new interest in this. Perfect. That is information that Facebook has gotten. And you might not realize this, and a lot of people don't actually realize this, that is essentially what is happening, right? Facebook is trying to gather as much data as possible, as many data points as possible, and ultimately they're selling that information. Now, they're not directly selling that information, but they're helping those advertisers match with those customers. What this new update is going to do is basically require you to know where your data is going. So who's going to have access to it, where you're actually giving access to it, and quite frankly, there may even be at some point or another where you have to re-give access to every single app that you have. Hey, I want to share my data, I want to share my permissions. And quite frankly, you'd be shocked at what apps actually have your data and which ones don't. Let me tell you right now, most of them have your data. It doesn't matter if it's MyFitnessPal, it doesn't matter if it's a sleep tracker. Quite frankly, it literally does not matter. Almost every single app nowadays, it's standard for companies to build this into their apps. It's the same thing for when we build websites in my company. It's standard to have a Facebook tracking pixel. Now, does every customer want that? No, but they'll set it up on their own accord. But every single website builder from WordPress to Wix to Squarespace to Webflow. Literally all of them allow a Facebook pixel integration. It is a phenomenal way to track who's visiting your website and all that kind of stuff, and it's really good for remarketing. So remarketing is when somebody visits that website, you can then push an ad to them later on and figure out how many ads you'd like to push. It's tremendously powerful because that person's already seen that brand, and now you can follow them around the internet based on where they're going or putting it on Facebook, whether it's videos, a picture, or something to catch your attention to get you to ultimately click and go back. That click could potentially turn into a buy, and there's companies out there that have phenomenal spreadsheets that say, hey, if this person comes back 3 or 4 or 5 times, we know that they're going to buy on the 5th time because they've seen the brand enough. Kudos to them, they've mastered it, and a lot of other companies have mastered it. If you put enough time and energy into it, you will master it. But ultimately, how is this impacting everybody? For the consumers, I think it's phenomenal. I'm so happy that Apple's now doing this because I quite frankly, being a digital marketer, I see too many people just giving out their information willy-nilly. Before I get into the cons of a business, I want to share a quick little story that a college professor did with us in class. So in class, we got to class on the first day, and he goes, okay, great, my name is Professor XYZ. I don't quite remember his name. And he goes, hey class, so I want to do a little quiz. I want to learn a little bit more about you guys. I want you guys to all write this down. He goes, it has to be written on a pen and paper. So grab out a pen, grab out a piece of paper or pencil, whatever it may be, and start writing these things down. So you want to write down your name. So you write down your name. He goes, all right, I'm going to need your email addresses. Please write down your email addresses. He's like, if you want and you don't check your school email address, and he framed this very cleverly, put down your personal email address. Okay, great. So we all put down our personal email address. Didn't even think about it. He goes, do you guys have any pets? What kind of pets do you have? Right? Name the pet and what kind of pet it is. If it's a dog, my dog's name is Hunter. If it's a cat, what's your cat's name? If it's a turtle, whatever it is, right? Put down your pet and and if you want to put in there, put down your past pets, right? Label as many pets as you guys would like. Okay, seems pretty cool, right? Hey, what town did you grow up in? Okay, great. So you write down the town, right? And you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. I get this. And you write down, some other thing. Hey, what's the name of your best friend? That way, maybe we might have friends coming to class one day, right? So you write down the name of your best friend. You're like, okay, that's cool. And he goes through, what's your favorite ice cream? What's your favorite food, right? Where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to college before this? If you did go to college, when did you start college? All of these different questions, right? And it builds out this whole kind of personality thing, essentially, with what Facebook actually does. Now he goes, okay, great. He goes, do you guys mind handing those in to me? Because I want to read them all so I can really learn a lot about you and learn personally about all of you. Sure. Why wouldn't we do that? He is the professor. Now the crazy part is we all handed it all in, and he took it and he tore it all up. He didn't want to read any of them. He goes, you guys literally just gave me your username, ways to reset your accounts, proof that basically I know almost everything about you, every question you could have asked in any kind of two-factor authentication, or like, hey, did you forget your password? One of those kinds of questions. We answered all of them on this piece of paper. Now, the important part about this story is the fact that we do this all the time on the internet. You might not even realize how often we are actually doing this on a regular basis, where we're putting in personal information, right? Whether or not you're going to a dog grooming store or whatever it may be, we are doing this all the time. Now, this leaves us, one, easily susceptible to being hacked, and two, we are voluntarily giving all that information all over the internet without any repercussions from it. So ultimately, what Apple decided to do, which I think is brilliant, is stop that data from being given to those companies, right? We give a tremendous amount of data out and we don't get anything except free uses in return, which honestly isn't a bad thing. So how do we go about this and what does this mean for businesses? Well, ultimately for businesses, this kind of screws a lot of businesses. If you're a business that is completely built on Facebook, you're going to be impacted. There's really no way to there's really no way around it. For businesses that have gone the content marketing route, you're probably going to be fine. For my business, we get a bunch of leads. I don't pay $1 for ads or anything like that, so I'm going to be not impacted at all, thankfully. But there are a vast majority of businesses that are built on these Facebook ads. One of the prime examples that comes to mind right away is Shopify and these drop shipping websites. Now, I'm not against drop shipping websites, and quite honestly, we've built a bunch of them at my company. But ultimately, their businesses are completely ran on Facebook ads by one person selling a product who happens to be really, really good at Facebook ads, and ultimately, he's getting that ad in front of that ideal person. Now, with people knowing where their data is going and choosing how much data they actually want to give, this is going to tremendously crush small businesses like that. Now, do I feel bad for those businesses? Not necessarily, because that's business, that's part of the competition. However, there are tons of small businesses that simply rely on Facebook ads to get in front of their ideal market, because this is what the new norm is. And they don't have Google advertising because Google advertising may be too expensive. They don't have, in-app advertising. They don't have outreach in the local paper. And quite honestly, with COVID, the local paper might not work all that well. So this is having a tremendous impact on small businesses. Some of the other things that I see are going to happen, especially in the future as this progresses, is more and more people are going to be upgrading to iOS 14 and future iOS versions. So if you're a small business right now, now's the time to go on an extreme content marketing rampage. Start creating YouTube videos, start creating blogs, anything like that is easily going to be something that it might not take effect right now, but as more people start to get newer phones and iOS 14 and newer versions become the standard in every single phone, you need to be prepared. Google is not going to go anywhere with anything, right? Because people are asking questions all the time to Google, and Google's job is to present the best possible information. Are more people going to advertise on Google? I would venture to say yes. But if you don't want to pay for ads, which heck, I don't want to pay for ads, you need to really focus on your content marketing. So like I said, YouTube, it could be Instagram, you could be posting on Facebook, you could be posting on TikTok, and quite honestly, there may be another platform that rolls around that either Apple doesn't catch, or it's just a really good way to grow your business. I've seen plenty of people grow their businesses on TikTok, but there are plenty of other ways to grow your business. But running ads on Facebook is going to be detrimental to businesses that solely rely on that. Now, for Android users, there's been no talk about an Android update that's going to be doing the same. Would I venture to say that there probably will be? Yes, I would absolutely venture to say there probably will be, because Apple seems to pioneer that whole industry. I wouldn't be surprised if Android and Android devices follow suit. It might not be this year, it may not be next year, but I can almost guarantee down the road this is going to happen. If you don't think this is going to happen, go watch a couple different movies. Go check out The Great Hack. Tremendously monumental movie, shows you really how invasive and crazy Facebook ads can be, right? And how people are thinking about it. Go check out Black Mirror, the TV show. I mean, it's in there. Like, the amount of data that we give out and things like that are out there. There are so many other movies. I don't watch that many movies, but go check them out. Like, if you watch The Great Hack, I promise you Netflix, Hulu, whatever it is going to recommend similar movies and TV shows and videos like that you could go consume. But this is literally how people think. Now, for business marketers, this is going to pose a new challenge. Thankfully, we don't run that many Facebook ads in my agency. We are very much so a content marketing agency. I'm extremely happy about that, because we are going to be almost unimpacted by this. But for a lot of small businesses, a lot of these drop shipping sites or businesses that rely on Facebook ads in a very targeted region, this is going to be tremendously impactful. Now is the time to get ahead of this boat, because as time goes on, like I said, more people are going to have newer phones, and this is just going to be the new norm. This is not going away. I really don't foresee this going away unless Apple and Facebook strike a deal. This is going to happen, and even if it doesn't happen, there's no way that this is going away. It's just the new way of data. Data is the latest currency. Everybody wants data. Apple has tons of data on you, right? But they're not selling advertising, they're selling their apps to businesses, and they're making money there. But as far as these social media platforms, this is good. It's great for the consumer. It stinks for small businesses. But ultimately, this is the way of the world, and this is part of the competition. So businesses are gonna have to find different ways to reach out to people, get in front of those people, and ultimately make better decisions. Now, quite honestly, the prompt that you're gonna get is really not that impactful, but I can almost guarantee that this is going to be continuously happening. More and more people are going to say, hey, no, I don't want to give out all my data. And that's okay. Either way is totally fine, but I'm already having customers that run a lot of Facebook ads being impacted by this. Stay on the up and up. I'm probably going to create another video on, something going on or what's going on with this whole thing. Just be prepared. It's only going to get worse from here on out as more people get newer phones, newer updates, and things like that. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button. That'll help more people see this video. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss a notification and update on how to grow your business, and hit the little notification bell, because that always helps. I'll see you guys later. My name is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Hope you guys found value in this. This is a bit of a long-winded video, but I really can't even explain the impact that this is going to have on businesses. I really hope that your business is succeeding, and if it's not, please leave a comment down below. Maybe we can have a conversation on helping you. And even if we can't, go watch more YouTube videos. There are tons of people talking about this. This is going to be huge. I'm very curious to see where this is going to lead the digital market. So I'll see you guys later. Once again, my name is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. I'll talk to you guys later.